Welcome back to the Rebel 93 podcast.
Yes, sir.
We got the muffins out already, and we're back at it. We're back at it.
Stummy's just filled.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So
So we got interesting little topics.
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 To the last podcast.
If y'all were listening
Was,
to the last podcast, we're gonna segue from there.
Yeah. We're
Tiago
gonna
had an
expand.
idea, or he had a concept that we'd like
I
to hear
have
today.
my thoughts on the topic.
Okay. And what are those?
Got you.
Well, like, you have to explain yours because you started off it by saying, like, life after death.
Oh well,
Well,
I was
like,
kind of saying like
And I didn't talk about the Biggie album.
what I was kind of saying was like, okay, like our last thoughts, essentially, like before you die, if I'm falling off a cliff, I would like my last thoughts to be acceptance. If I'm falling, I understand like I'm dying. So does the last thoughts that you have kind of transition? Like I don't know if life flashes before
I
your
feel
eyes when
like-
you die,
Man,
or if my
you
lights
are
will flash.
triggering so many things in my brain.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
So-
Elmine.
Yeah, right. So here's
Facts.
one of the things, right? We talked about it earlier in the last podcast. Man, life is just going so fast. Da, 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 da. Life is literally flashing before our eyes right now, and we have no idea when we're going to die. So we're literally watching life happen right now. And that's one of the craziest parts of, like, concepts of life.
Tiago just fucked me up with that one. I'm not
So,
gonna
like,
lie.
you're
I'm
watching-
honestly trying not to accept that truth.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like rejecting
Like,
that right now.
That kind of goes with like what you believe in is like what's it called? It wasn't what you said. It was
Yeah.
actually like what you believe. You give the more you believe in something, the more power you give it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then the other thing is, we've talked about it a lot on this podcast, is about the lessons we're learning through life. Those last moments, I think, is the final acceptance of
It's the final pod.
the yo legit
Pretty
though.
much.
Like it's the final lessons of everything that you're supposed to learn in this lifetime. And I think that once you go through this lifetime, there is a spiritual realm after this, and I think it's part of the higher version of yourself that you are here to learn about life. And I think this is like the leading edge experience for us to learn, and that's why there's so much contrast in this world where we have opposing thoughts and opinions. It is
Yeah.
to learn to evolve not only us as a human species, but us on a spiritual level, because I think that some of those things have to be there and they will never leave. Kind of like we were talking about before, the Madara thing. They're like, then there's going to be an uprising, and then wars going
Yeah.
to happen all over again. And I feel like that's always going to be a constant, because we're supposed to spiritually evolve into something that we can no longer even do in a fourth dimensional being.
In a
That,
fourth
like,
dimensional
in
state
a
type
fourth
shit.
dimensional space, where only a third dimensional space is something capable. Where a fourth dimension, they're just like, you silly kids.
Yeah.
Like, you know what
just
I mean? So
watching.
it's like, those are my thoughts of death, and it gets wild. And like a lot of the things that, man, I could take this so crazy. We're talking about time and space, and it's like, our guardian angels. Something I was reading in a book. I forget the book.
It's okay.
Yeah, I know, but this is so particular. Where like I know someone's gonna be like, "What book is this?"
Yeah.
It's
Or
where-
somebody might be like, "Oh, that was from here." If y'all
Which,
know,
if y'all know,
if
please
y'all
drop
know,
the book, 'cause I
drop
can't remember
that.
off the top of my head. But it was talking about how our guardian angel and that like little thing where it's like, man, something was guiding me that day, and like you ever had that thought, it was actually your higher self that's already lived through this lifetime for you, that's helping you learn the lessons that you need to learn here, and getting you to a higher conscientious level, because it wants to make sure you're passing, like, I don't want to call this a test, but the contrast of learning or whatever you need to learn. So it's like, it's actually nuts. So I do think that the final thought is the thought you take across, but I think it's the whole lessons of life in a whole. Because like in the time space like reality, like this is actually like a blink of a grain of sand.
Oh,
in
for sure.
all of time.
in all of time.
So
right.
it's like, and if we're eternal human beings and we're infinite, and energy, if we're energy and energy is infinite, cannot be created or destroyed, that means that's just taken forever. So it's like, I don't know, man.
Yo,
Like,
he's good. He's wild.
And
right
honestly,
my,
that's
my thoughts,
wild.
like I've sat there and thought about death and what happens and researched like Taoism, like Buddhism, like a bunch of different things. So,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is the truth? And I really wanted to know what the truth is. And it's like, as much as we want to know, I don't think we're able to understand from this world. I
Yeah.
think we can only get.
I think
glimpse.
I don't know if I said that off mic or on mic. I don't know, but I feel like I remember saying that there's just certain things in life that we're just not supposed to know.
Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say that
And like
there's
you're just
this,
never gonna find a truth to it.
There's
Yeah.
there's I
By the way,
forgot.
like this can all be like just my thoughts, and like
Right.
they don't have to be certain. Have your own thoughts.
There was this philosopher. I'm not sure. I don't quote me on this. Not sure if it's Nietzsche, but it's he said there's no such thing as the truth. You should never search for truth. You should just only try to be less wrong. Because if you have a truth about something, like let's say there's essentially like there's kind of there's two sides to every coin. So if you have your truth and you want to look for more information upon it, like somebody's opposing views or somebody's opposing ideas can kind of contrast your ideas, but that doesn't invalidate their point nor your point. So it's like both of you are on the same like search for that information, but it's not that either of you are wrong. It's just you're kind of searching for more truth and like looking to be less wrong. And like what you said about there being life after death, I
don't think it's life as we see it now. I think it's going to be a different type of life.
right for sure.
I don't think it's like, boom, welcome into a brand new world. You have
No,
a new
no, no,
mom and
yeah.
dad, like,
I don't
think
entirely
it's-
believe that once you die you come out of a womb. I don't think it's like that.
I mean, like, possibly. Maybe you didn't learn the lessons and you have to come back here and
Maybe.
learn your lessons again. So it's
Maybe.
like, I remember this one time. Oh, man. Oh, this might get me in trouble. I was talking to a priest's daughter. You know, we were talking or whatever. We were hanging out.
Right?
And, bro, I was like 15 or
those.
whatever. And I just sat there and I said something to her and she kind of got mad at me because I was like, what if this is purgatory? And she just sat there and she was like, yo, that's so messed up. Why would you say that? Da, 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 da. And I just sat there. I was just like, let's not, not it. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's just kind of just like, but at the same time, it's like, I see what she was kind of saying too. It's like, no, like, this is just supposed to be like a happy, good place. And it's like, I think that you're just supposed to create that in your mind and have that experience. Because, like, when you create that perception, then you'll have that experience. So it's like,
I mean, your perceptions do create your reality.
exactly. So
So-
it's like,
I seen this theory where it was like how people say that when you die, like you get like a flashback of like your life and you see everything
Right.
that whatever happened. Like, and I seen someone say like, what if like it's the other way around? What if like you're already dead and you're just seeing what your life could have been? And
I
like,
don't like that.
now you're just
That
living
one
in
didn't sound
like
right.
Because
like what if like let's say like all right, we're in a car, right? And let's say, for example, the day that
That's almost like we're living in an alternate universe.
yeah, so let's say like the day that he was like, "Yo, are we ready to die?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he just let go, and I never picked up the steering wheel. Like, what if like
oh, you guys
that
have done
day?
that too? That's crazy.
Yeah,
He said you guys have done that too. I don't like that.
I was in the back seat.
He had no control.
Oh, that's even scarier.
I was just like,
that's even
yo,
scarier.
he said he like so he says
Like,
it. He goes, "Yo,
Yo,
are we
y'all
ready to die?"
die?
And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Bet," and I was just like. And he was
We're
like,
gonna see what happens.
he's like, "Get the wheel," and I'm just like, "Oh." I said we ready to die,
Were we
right?
on local streets or were we on the highway?
No, we were like literally pulling up to your crib.
Okay, word. I bet. I was gonna say because I might have
Then
been
I was
going
on
like
Easton
40,
Ave.
50.
I
Maybe.
was just saying goodbye to my mom and my dad.
So, like-
in my head.
So like,
I'm sorry,
what if
I'm sorry.
on that day, like, I never picked up the steering wheel and we just crashed and died,
Okay.
and now we're all just living
In that reality.
in that reality
Yeah.
of like what like we're seeing right now is what our lives would have been.
Somebody said that we're just aliens, and like once we die, like it's like we actually like wake up from our like bong rip, and we're just like, yo, that was fucking crazy.
Yo.
like,
I don't.
I think
like
I've,
that.
I've
I
seen.
don't
Yeah,
like
I've seen.
I
I
don't
think
like
it was a
that.
meme or like a picture
yeah,
I've
it was
seen.
like a super like meme like Reddit
Yeah.
thing that went viral. It's great.
That's
But, like,
funny.
But
That's
like
funny.
there's so many possibilities. And
Nah,
that's why
you
I
know
thought
what
those things.
you know what really fucked me up? I was watching Rick and Morty, right?
Oh, they're great at that. They're
Yo,
Amazing.
like,
Amazing.
when I say that this episode, it had me like questioning my life, okay? Because in this episode, they were like in this like cube, and in that cube, like they were in a whole universe.
Yeah.
Another
Oh,
dimension within dimension. Type
Yeah,
thing.
but in reality, bro, it was an alien holding a cube, like a little cube, and like Rick and Morty were inside that whole universe.
Did you-
And the purpose of what? Wait,
Are you
what?
gonna talk about the vacuum?
No.
Oh, I'm talking about the vacuum after that. All right.
All right.
Keep going, keep going.
So like in that universe, their purpose is to like extract this like liquid, and like that liquid is
Wait,
used.
was that one? Was that when Rick was like searching for like that ore, like the it
Yeah.
was like the stones or something like
Yeah,
that? Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And
okay.
like in that universe, like that's their purpose, to get that liquid, and like because the people that like the aliens that have that cube, once the liquid is extracted, they can get it from that world just by like touching the box.
Yeah.
They extract it from there, boom, and then they use it for them. Now, they started saying like, what if that's our world? And since what's like the big thing that makes you like look like you have power? Diamonds, gold, all that stuff, right? Like if you have like a diamond out, like
Chess piece, whatever.
chess piece, whatever it is, like watch, whatever, like you see someone with that, and automatically you're like, oh, they got money, they got power. But what if like we're just mining it for like a higher entity that's just holding us in the cube, and like that's what they need. That's like a resource for them, and we're just the ones that are like mining it for them.
Somebody.
That
So-
almost makes me think about what's it called? Clash of Clans, where like you put them in there and like they're like getting elixir to like battle and stuff like that. It's almost like that universe. Like
So somebody else told me about that and was like, if there was a species above us that was doing that, like, that's superhuman thinking. Like,
superhuman thinking. You mean?
like, no,
Or-
no. So like, how do you put it? He was basically saying like, so let's say like aliens came to Earth because they just came from their universe to our universe because
Okay.
we weren't producing the stuff that they need.
Right.
And he was like, that was greed is a human thing. Like why do we think that's everything? Because like their species might have evolved past how we think about things.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, ooh, and then that gets you questioning like, what did they learn? So
Yeah. I
I don't
think I definitely believe that like through time and like of course there's that possibility of there being like outside beings and like evolving sort of like past us right now.
Yeah.
But through time, like the way that we kind of evolve as a species just by us being like our environment definitely plays a large role. And this actually plays into it actually plays into genetics, how when there's that saying, there's that idea that over time somebody looks like they're like partners can end up looking like each other. Like after long enough, partners can end up looking like each
did
other.
he miss that podcast? He wasn't here for that podcast, was he?
No.
Last one.
Yes, he was. You
For
were
what?
there
What?
when you did the whole. It's like the South Park episode where everyone was tan.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, no. Well, I was.
what you're
Yeah,
talking
I was the one that said that. Yeah, I was the one that said that.
Yeah.
But that's not. I don't see the correlation to it.
Because he said in like by 2050 most humans will look alike.
No, well, that, but that's not necessarily what I'm playing on. It's almost like, okay, let's say Angel and Tina. Maybe after like 10 more years, they begin to like resemble each other. And there was the idea that, or it's like, oh, because you guys are in the same environment, you guys eat the same foods, you guys are experiencing like life together, you guys kind of mold in that you guys kind of grow in that same environment. As far as like, let's say somebody in Ecuador living in a different environment, you feel me? But it's just around. It almost plays a part of like who you're surrounded with and like what your environment is and growing. And like as a humanity, we kind of like grew to what we are today based off of what we go through and like the people that are around us.
I feel like
I get what you're saying. Just not.
Nah,
Nah,
you don't.
that's not it.
You don't think that our
I don't think if just because you live with someone, or like you spend a lot of time with someone where you just end up like resembling.
Nah, and honestly,
I think with mannerisms and maybe even with language,
yeah.
like we pick up a lot on each other.
Don't get me wrong.
But-
That's what was like. That's like a study that they've done, but that's not what I think. I honestly think like, yeah, that can be like. Let's say we're around you. We're around the two people that kind of. I feel like it's our perception. Like, okay, like I would associate you with Tina, so we would literally kind of. I would probably pick up similarities, and in my mind, I would probably be like, oh, like they kind of resemble each other, but in reality of like the world, they don't resemble each other. You know what I mean? Like to me, like because I associate them with like together, or like essentially I see them in the same environment, I would see them as like I would pick up those small similarities, but they would be meshed. It would almost be like fabricated rather than like the reality of what it is. And that made me think. That made me think about people's environment and who they're around. Definitely changes how they evolve. And
Well, yeah.
what's dude's name of the What's dude's name with the blue hair? A part of Odin. A part of Odin's crew.
Uh,
Oh, Danjiro.
Danjiro.
Dan-
Yeah,
Danjiro.
Danjiro.
I was thinking of his original name, but that's his name.
Oh,
Danjiro. He went through what he went through and isolated himself for years.
But that's anime.
Listen, no, this no, like yeah, it's anime. All right, so actually another part that I actually forgot to mention was your environment, what you eat, and your emotions. Like your emotions affect people's emotions. Like your environment affect how you feel. Danjiro, imagine going through the rage that he went through, right?
Literally
Isolating
change his
himself,
eyebrows.
isolating himself, and not having any human interaction. Think about the things he had to eat, you feel me, just to survive out there, and the emotions that he felt. He was like, that's how his face changed. Like, that's how he didn't look like the same person. Of course, it's anime. His hair is going to be blue now for some reason. But his face, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's where I kind of thought where that made sense. When I heard that idea, that's kind of where that made sense. Where it's like,
mean,
okay,
like,
there's a
being in those
tribe.
circumstances-
There's a
like his character development, and like I think that's what you're going at more. Is that like you're going through life experiences, eating, listening, reading certain things, and then that's helping form how you talk and act as a person.
Okay.
Giving you different experiences because you're walking into a room as a different version of yourself.
Right.
And then like because of that, I know somebody else who got stabbed in the face. Because of their life lessons, because of the places they were at.
That was so left field. That was so left field. I'm gonna be real. Call
But
me off
like,
guard, boy.
here's
Go
the
ahead.
thing: is
Go off, King.
he said.
Here's the thing. It's and I don't know him personally. This is just somebody I've watched. I've learned. His name's Andy Frisella, and he talks about that experience. And the way he talks about that experience is like it actually changed his life. And the reason it changed his life is because he had a boring face beforehand. And not no thing against him, but then people remembered him because he was the guy who got stabbed and has like a scar on his face.
Oh snap!
And then because of that, people would remember his company, remember his thing, and then his sales started catching up, and people kept remembering the shows he was going to because he was just so
Memorable.
memorable
Right.
because of that life experience, right? So it's like he looks back at it with gratitude, and like Danjiro, the way you guys are talking about him, like he went through that and he changed, and maybe he had like a tiger scratch him or whatever it might be. You know what I mean?
Right.
You go explore something, you get poison ivy. Like my grandpa, for example, had black legs from the knee down. Reason
snap.
being was because of a snake bit him. When he was in Africa, and he couldn't get it treated properly, so he almost had to get his leg amputated.
Wow.
So his one leg was like black; it was just blacked out almost. Like the one part of it was just completely discolored. And it's like, but he couldn't walk properly, and now like that became part of his persona. Was like, oh, that guy with the limp, and you knew who he was though.
Right,
You knew who
right.
he was. He owned the building on the corner. People knew who he was. He's passed away now.
Black Leg
rest
Sanji.
rest in peace.
RP.
Yeah,
RIP.
no, awesome guy. Learned a lot of lessons from. But that's one of those things where it's like these life events happen to us, and like I think that's what you're trying to get to a little bit more, where it's like a life event might happen to you, where like now it's changed how you looked because of X, Y, and Z, and it might catch on to the new version of yourself that you're then introducing yourself because you're meeting people again for the first time after 7 months or whatever it might be.
Honestly, yeah, that kind of correlates because it's like the life experiences that Danjiro was going through and like his environment, the things that he like experienced himself changed how he ended up looking like physically.
Yeah.
And those that saw him didn't recognize him because
And we could do the same thing with fitness. Like, you could disappear for a year and just hit the gym for a year. People see you again and they're like, what the fuck?
yeah, that's true.
And I thought that was you, but I don't remember you being this muscular. Like, whatever it might be. And it's just like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
My teeth.
It's like with fighters too. You get like wrestlers, boxers, MMA fighters. Like
Who's that
you
dude
could
who
bring
bit
in
off-
like a skinny dude, and like after years of training, you're gonna see that skinny dude with a wider neck. His face is a little more like is broad because of all the damage he's taken. Like the scar tissue, like
The cauliflower ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that fighter that bit off, or was it a pain ear? That bit off. It was actually painter.
Evander Holyfield.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson
bit
bit
off an
Evander
ear,
Holyfield.
and then that painter cut off his ear.
Oh, Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Oh, okay.
Why do I
yeah.
remember that? A face-altering thing that was so extreme that like people were like, "Oh shit!" They also do this, and then it became like a trademark of that person.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that. So he really bit off his ear, like legit.
Mike Tyson.
He legit bit off his
Yeah.
ear.
He bit
was-
off.
I-
Like
it was-
not like he bit up like this part right here.
Yeah, it wasn't his whole ear, but it was
Okay,
like definitely a
and
decent
do we
sized
know?
cartilage.
Do we know why he did it?
He was just getting frustrated in the fight.
and he
he
bit
was
off that
losing.
other dude's ear. Yeah.
Did they stop the fight right there?
Yeah, they had to.
Imagine
Disqualified.
Imagine.
And they were both getting busy, but like Holyfield was just taking over after a while, like bad. And Mike Tyson was just getting like tight. Like
I can't imagine.
So like, but like,
can't imagine.
you know how
that.
mad you gotta be to bite someone's ear off?
You know
and
how
go
it's
through with
pretty
it?
easy.
Like
Yeah.
finish it?
It'd be pretty easy.
Like biting flesh?
I think it's when it's not your own, it's easier.
Way easier.
Because,
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely,
Trying to bite
but,
your
like-
finger, like your brain knows not to break your own.
But
skin.
Right,
imagine
yeah.
feeling someone's ear and you're just bite that's nasty.
I
It's a
don't,
little kinky.
I don't think about biting something.
I know, but like that's just,
Not my kind of kinky joke.
Kind of kinky goes. A little bit, you know. Some people are into that stuff, you know.
why is your ear gone? Oh, he likes it rough. What?
Yo,
He likes it rough.
chill.
Angel's into something, guys.
That was
No.
wild. That was wild. That was wild. Dang.
No,
What about you, Andy? What are your thoughts on the whole genetics and maybe Don?
I told you. I said nah.
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 That's it.
Just
Okay,
nah.
but what do you? That's it. All right, bet. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm just gonna disagree. Just
Agree to
completely,
disagree.
No, completely. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's fair.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Speaking of Danjiro in One Piece, Katakuri versus
No. Speaking
Zoro.
of One Piece, not Danjiro, because if it's Danjiro,
I skipped.
you said speaking of Danjiro and One Piece, but you're not talking about Danjiro. Speaking of One Piece,
No, but he's saying like
Katakuri-
Danjiro is a One Piece character, so he's
No,
gonna
I-
get into the.
no, never mind. You see, we go through this a lot. You feel me?
You know,
And
like it would have just been so great if you didn't interrupt. me.
probably, but
Like
that
we-
wouldn't. It wouldn't be me though. It wouldn't be.
It
me.
wouldn't be him.
You feel me?
You know, he has to.
Katakuri versus
Love.
Zoro, 1v1, 100%. Current Katakuri versus current Zoro. I had
Okay, hold on, because if we're saying current, we're talking about Whole Cake, because we haven't seen Katakuri
We haven't
since.
seen later,
So we don't
Katakuri.
even know what he has now.
And the
Exactly.
idea, the
so
idea
current
of him,
as in Whole Cake Katakuri.
how is that fair?
the idea
What do you
of
mean?
him.
How is that fair? We have no
training-
idea what he has right
We don't know
now.
what he's doing. The idea of him
He
still
probably has the
evolving
same
and training.
thing, just a little stronger. That's all you can assume.
That's all you can assume.
All you can assume. Why would I
Well,
pick?
how
why
would
would
you
I
even
pick
scale it?
whole
How would
cake?
you scale it,
How
though?
how can you pick whole cake?
Because you're basing
Your
Katakuri being
idea
able to
off of
beat
that.
Zoro because of what you saw in Whole Cake.
Okay, and if Katakuri and Zoro were to so happen go 1-on-1 in the next arc for whatever reason, which wouldn't not make sense
I would love to see it.
because Yonko and Commander, like Yonko Commander versus Yonko Commander. You feel me? But I mean, yeah, we see Zoro now, but
Imagine it ends up Katakuri versus Bebo.
Yo, chill. Anyways, so I mean, it's almost the same thing with like, okay, like when Luffy was fighting Katakuri, we didn't know what current Zoro looked like at the moment at Whole Cake because he wasn't there. He was at Wano training.
True.
So it's you could only put in that time period when we were at Whole Cake where it was Katakuri versus current Zoro, where wherever you knew Zoro was at, plus a little more.
So on that, would you have thought that at Katakuri in Whole Cake, because we didn't see Zoro in Whole Cake,
You would have to put current Zoro plus a little more. Like just boost his stats a little bit.
okay, give him a little
Boost his
give him
stats just a little bit. A little stronger, a little faster, a little
So
smarter.
Future Sight went from 3 minutes to 5.
Some calm little changes. Calm little minor
slider changes.
minor upgrades.
It's not minor. That's 5 minutes into the future. That's pretty huge.
You chose the number.
True.
Yeah, but it was an example. It was an example to him.
was a
So
good
like,
point.
So, current both characters at 100%. Zoro versus Katakuri. I said Katakuri. You said Zoro. You say
I say
Sanji.
nah. I know Sanji would get bodied. He'd get smoked out the.
already did.
He'd get Vince smoked. Anyways, I think I want to say by the time that war happens, because we're talking about current Zoro, but not when they end up possibly seeing each other. Actually, never mind. That's a whole different thing. Current Zoro versus current Katakuri of what we can think he is. I would have to say. Damn, I'm gonna just say Katakuri. I'm gonna say Katakuri on the regards that like
2v1.
I'm gonna say I really wanted to say Zoro because Zoro slashes. By the time he does see him, it's gonna be he wouldn't be able to dodge Katakuri, or Katakuri wouldn't be able to dodge Zoro. But no, bro, Zoro is fast. 1, 2.
So is Katakuri.
Yes, he is. But bro,
Okay.
like Zoro, like you said, or I think like you said yesterday, Zoro does have observation. We just don't
Nowhere
see it.
near Katakuri's.
Nowhere near Katakuri's. But
Zoro
that doesn't
has
mean,
the worst observation out of him, Luffy, and Sanji.
okay, but I think his slashes would do a lot more damage than what Luffy. was
If
attempting to.
if they contact him, yes.
Yes.
I feel like he'll contact them.
Yeah,
if he was
bro.
able to,
You
if he was able to
undermining the
catch
fuck
Kaido
out of
twice,
Zoro.
Not really. He probably like meets the dude and then goes, "Oh, let me look into the future." All right, he hasn't hit me yet. Let me recheck the future again. Oh, that's where he throws a swing. All right.
Because
Yeah,
you're talking.
but-
Because you're
but
because
we
you're the
can't-
first.
Future
You're
Sight
the
is the
you're the
bitch,
first.
bro.
You're the first to always say these characters are all moving at light speed, right?
because they are
Okay.
in the
word.
fights. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Word. So if all of Luffy's attacks are going at light speed, that means Katakuri is dodging at light speed. So if Zoro slashes are light speed or a little more faster than light speed, what are you saying that you're trying to say that Katakuri he would just get hit?
I'm not saying that he's just gonna get hit, but Zoro's definitely gonna get contact. Like it's not like
And Katakuri
it's-
definitely gonna catch
it's-
his contact too. Like
it's not, yeah, but I'm not saying like I'm not saying that like Katakuri is slow because he's not. But what I'm saying is, like yeah, he has future sight, but if we look at the recent what has happened recently on the anime, Zoro caught Kaido twice.
Okay.
One was a graze and one was like a full on slash, and Luffy already has future sight. Luffy has
not as far as Katakuri's, but go ahead.
but it's still future sight. He still has.
Yeah, so does Rayleigh.
He's
still not as far as Katakuri's.
he still has. Well, we don't really know that.
Bro, I'm pretty sure when Rayleigh was training Luffy and he said, "Yo, there's gonna be people that can see into the future." I'm pretty sure he was referring to Katakuri. Like,
Nah,
yo, you might run into this.
Yeah,
to the guy
but
like
like
have to scrap with him.
you think that Rayleigh doesn't like you think that's different. Okay.
Katakuri is known, bro. He's literally known for it. Like that's
Yeah.
his shit.
Yes, but like I don't think he was just specifically just saying only Katakuri has this.
No, but I'm saying like because Katakuri is known for that, he's definitely the strongest observation hockey user we've seen.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Okay.
yeah.
I think we should just pick sides and see what happens in the anime.
It might not
It
happen.
might not happen.
This
That's
is
the
all.
thing.
This is all off
Yeah.
the.
Oh, it's speculation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even think Katakuri's gonna come back
So
to
you still
like
have to,
fight
you
a
still have
Straw
to
Hat.
like wait until future episodes come out just to see
If
full
it would
poten-
even potentially happen, yeah.
No,
I asked
not
y'all-
the potential of happening, but the potential of growth in characters.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
all.
I asked y'all yesterday if y'all think Katakuri's pulling up to the war.
I think everyone is. I literally think everyone is.
You
He
think?
might. He's gonna have to.
I don't even think this war is gonna be like one side versus one side.
Oh yeah.
I think it's
'cause
about to be like
honestly
mad different sections, bro.
the thing is, I definitely feel that everybody is gonna pull up, but it's a matter of. I feel like it's a free for all. Every man for themselves.
Type.
And Luffy, the Straw
that's like
Hats
Pirates Law.
themselves. Yeah, exactly. The Straw Hats themselves, and what? Well, there's an alliance though with the alliance, the Supernovas, right? That's them. The three?
There's some.
Right now,
there's
it's just
some
with the
alliances.
three.
Not,
Yeah.
not all the supernovas agree with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't agree with each other, but they all there for the same thing.
And they're all like
Yeah.
most
But
of them are
in their own
traitors, bro.
means, though. In their own means, like they have their own reasons. But
Because Kid would backstab Luffy.
no,
heartbeat.
easily.
Like,
yeah.
so they.
But do you like? But by that war, by the time that war happens, the Straw Hats have the largest, like they have the largest fleet. They have the largest fleet.
Okay.
Definitely larger than the Marines, I'd say.
Yeah, and like 5,000 Marines went to go get Mihawk, and I don't think it did anything.
didn't.
It didn't. That's one
Mihawk
man.
comes
And that's
in.
one man. So
That's crazy. What about Mihawk and Katakuri?
Mihawk, easy.
I think Mihawk.
That's easy.
it depends.
On?
What?
It depends.
On
On
what?
what?
Okay, so
Elaborate.
So no, I'm not saying. Okay, yes, Mihawk rivals Shanks at a certain time period. We don't know if Mihawk
still
still
beefing.
rivals Shanks.
Yeah.
We just know they did rival. We don't know if they still currently rival.
But they didn't finish that battle, did they?
No, they
They never-
fought mad times.
Yeah, but then it's always a standstill.
it's always a standstill. And that was before he was even Yonko.
Okay.
So I don't know if Yonko Shanks can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, it all depends on ability. We haven't really seen Mihawk do anything like besides just,
Marineford.
yeah, Marineford and when he fought Zoro. And that he was just that was
Literally bullshit.
bullying. That was
Yeah,
bullying.
He was.
That was literally bullying. So that's
Yeah.
that. But only reason why I always pick Katakuri over Zoro is just because Future Sight, of course, that's always going to be my first argument. And even if he tends to piss off Katakuri, where Katakuri isn't as focused, where his observation is off, I still do believe that don't get me wrong, Zoro can take hits. We've seen it.
For sure.
We've seen Zoro
His-
almost die
his
multiple
pain
times.
tolerance is insane.
Is insane.
Probably the highest in the show.
But bro, we literally seen what that man did to Luffy. Like, it was bad. And on top of that, Katakuri's Conquerors is way stronger than Zoro's as well. So the only thing that Zoro really has is if he can control Enma 100%, I might back down. I might back down on the argument. Because Enma is really different. But
You think
like
he'll-
I said,
you think he'll hone-
I think his limit is like 3.
You think he'll
three-
master
like
Enma
three
by the,
full-
by the war? By the end of the war?
He kind of has to. I don't think he has a choice.
That's true.
Wait, to what?
By the end of the war,
to
do you think he'll-
fully master Enma.
Oh, he's gonna have to.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to.
Even to fight Mihawk,
He's
gonna have to.
He can't.
sure.
He can't keep using Emma the way he is because you'll die.
His
like-
body literally can't. It's
Yeah.
it's the same thing with Gear 4. Like how Luffy still can't.
He's just losing life every time he
Yeah,
uses it. Yeah.
it's so if Katakuri weaves all of Enma's attacks, and it's just a weak Zoro,
I mean, yeah.
it's done up. It's done up.
Yeah, but then again, that's also like, if he were to be fight. I mean, Luffy was fighting. What's this shorty's name? He was fighting him and his sister.
Brutally.
Broly, yeah. He was fighting both of them, kinda. Like, he really had to be on his 10 toes just to like find out what she was up to while he's fighting Katakuri. And like, yeah, the way he won wasn't like
Katakuri
it was
also
plot armor, quote unquote.
handicapped himself.
He
Bad.
handicapped himself bad.
Bad.
Yeah,
Like worse than Luffy, because Luffy only had a numb leg.
And just a stab.
yeah.
He took the whole trident and
and
went through his
whole
entire.
body.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
wilding.
No, but but that's like that's the reason that Luffy won. It was more of like I said, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. That like what he said, it was like more poetic. Like that loss. That loss was more poetic than anything.
I know. It's
So-
plot armor as well.
Yeah, but then again, Luffy was.
It's the same, bro. We're never gonna, bro. As long as these characters are the main characters, we're never gonna see them lose. Which is why all these fights have to be in speculation of disregarding the story and only regarding the characters and their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, word. Yeah.
Which is why I believe, fuck the plot. Katakuri alone, just who Katakuri is and what he stands for. But mind you, I'm not discrediting anything Zoro stands for. Zoro is that guy.
He's Zoro.
He will get the job done.
My thing is just
But-
how long is it gonna take for him to like figure
if-
out how to cut him? Because like he could slash him, but he's
Yeah,
Mochi.
because I mean, if Luffy and Katakuri fought for 12 hours, right?
Okay.
And 12 or 10, some shit like that.
11.
11? So, all right, word. It took a while for Luffy to find out how his Mochi abilities work.
Right.
Now, if Zoro goes into the fight with Luffy already telling him his abilities, the same way when Jiraiya walked into fighting Pain and he didn't know his abilities, but Naruto kind of had the idea of and that's how he was able to beat Pain. Now, if it's just Zoro versus Katakuri with him not knowing anything about Katakuri, it might be a slow day. Him already walking into the fight knowing he's Mochi, that's an advantage.
Yeah.
Strong advantage at that.
And let's say they knew everything about like each other. Then what? That's almost like
Yeah,
let's
that's
say
hard. That's
let's say if Shikamaru knew everything about his opponent. Let's
Shikamaru wins every fight.
Yeah, literally.
It's too much of a strategy.
Yeah. I think that definitely
That's how I
plays
feel
a part.
about Law. Like if you
Law is
give
very
Law
tactical.
prior knowledge or
He's very
like
tactical.
a prep time, like he's gonna
Batman.
9 times out
He's
of 10,
Batman.
he's
Yeah.
gonna win.
Yeah.
He's Batman.
Especially what he's doing now with that, bro. Like since
His room is ridiculous.
since when
It is
does
a lot.
does he fly in his room? Like
The way he
literally,
did.
he's like moving with his room now. Like
Yeah.
And it's just gonna keep getting better.
I feel like he could do a lot more damage to Kaido than what we've seen him do so far.
Who?
Law,
I mean,
which is barely to none.
him, Luffy, and Zoro are the only ones who've done real damage to Kaido. Because Kid
sure.
and Killer have been fucking
Smoking Big Mom.
Yeah. Well, actually, y'all talking about manga?
Yeah,
Okay, weird. I didn't.
it's okay.
Like,
It's all good.
bro,
Don't worry about it.
Kid that nigga, bro.
I did like the way they animated his moveset though. Like the
I didn't like that
skull.
episode.
Nah, it was alright.
Oh, with the
Those
Punk Vice.
Yeah.
Those moves were
I mean,
childish.
it wasn't.
Kids moves?
all of them. All of them were childish.
I feel like Kid. That
What made
move was
Law
dope.
think that tact was gonna work?
I feel like Kaido, like Law against Kaido, if he's in his room, bro, he could do whatever. But do you think because of Kaido's, I guess, conquerors or his hockey, essentially, do you think he wouldn't be able to do a thing?
I mean, that's what happened with Big Mom. He literally tried to room Big Mom, and she didn't move because her hockey's that strong.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, Big Mom is also.
Big Mom
very
was
big.
unconscious.
She said, "I'm not going nowhere."
Literally unconscious. Like didn't know what was going on, and Luffy still couldn't put one finger on her.
Jeez.
Meanwhile, Kaido's drunk, fully aware, and was still getting hit. And he got knocked out twice in the first encounter, but he just woke up mad fast.
Moral of the story is Katakuri wins. Tossing it to Tiago.
Yeah, no, I just can't believe you haven't watched Attack on Titans yet.
Yo, why did I feel like it was gonna get there at some
Super
point?
good.
No lie.
I'm super good on that.
Why?
Why? Why are you super? Why are you?
Let
quote
the
unquote,
people
super
know.
Good? Yeah, let them know.
Because I'm not really interested in the anime style. I'm not really interested on the character. Nothing about the character really stands out for me.
Your clothes is whack. Style is whack.
Yeah.
Whack.
You're
Shoes
ah, damn.
whack.
You know, and,
Yeah.
and I just have to like I have to like the character, and I feel like in a sense I almost have to believe in their same, like in what they believe in. Like I don't feel like I would have
Nah, because
I don't feel like I would have enjoyed One Piece if I didn't feel like I believe Luffy would be the king of the pirates.
Okay, but
What
at
made
the
you
same
believe
time,
Just his tone.
that?
Like, you know, like, you know,
his will, his
Naruto
will.
ran around like, believe it.
He,
will.
like, yo,
I love that.
he said it, and he said it, and I didn't call cap.
Okay.
Same way Naruto's like, yo, I'm gonna be the Hokage one day. Like, yo, yeah, you are.
He never
and
used
the
the
same,
word, I believe I'm going to be the
and
Hokage.
and the same way
That's facts.
Deku's like, yo, like I'm gonna be the number one hero. Don't get me wrong. When Bakugo says it, I believe him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. But as far as Attack on Titan,
But
I feel like
Bakugo will be.
your perception. Don't get me wrong. Like what you've seen about the anime on paper, or like just like on screen. Okay, you might not like the anime style. You might not. I feel like you have to watch the show
I think
in order
if he got
to.
into it, he would like it. But like until then,
Right, until then,
there's
he's gonna feel
there's
how he
no
feels.
Convincing Andy, we know who Andy is.
Right, exactly. And the way that
I'm happy at least one person understands that.
And that,
Oh, my God.
here this guy goes. Anyways, I think what your perception right now of it is based off of what you've seen, which isn't close to any. You feel me? And also what you've heard.
You see,
You didn't see it for yourself.
I question a lot, right? I ask questions, right?
Right.
So I have to ask myself, okay, like, why do I have to subscribe to this? If 20 people in a room tell me like, yo, like, nah, Attack on Titan #1 anime in the world right now. Okay, just because you guys said it, cool. But why do I have to subscribe to that?
No, I don't think that's part of it. I think it's more of like people know that your interests and want to like
No,
love your
no,
thoughts on it.
and I get that, man, but it's, to me, I kind of play it with when I gave my first Kendrick review on the last album. There was mad people who hit me up and was like, "Word, like appreciate it, like I won't listen to it now," and I took their human experience away from that. Ultimately, because I gave my opinion.
Yeah, but
and I didn't like that.
Ultimately, that's their choice.
So,
that's their.
But it's because they saw me say I didn't really enjoy the music of it.
And seeing what you've seen and maybe some things that you've heard about it is dictating whether or not you feel like you should watch it or not. So aren't they doing the same thing to you?
Yeah, you're on
No, because I'm asking. Is this something that I?
But
would watch?
you haven't checked it to like.
What do you mean? I've seen plenty of clips. It's just not something I feel like I would watch. Now, they didn't even didn't even hear anything from the Kendrick album. They just heard my opinion.
Right.
Like, I've seen, if you were to tell me, like, yo, who's this character? I can tell you who's Aaron. I can tell you who's Levi. I can tell you who Mikasa is. Because I've seen it.
What
Right.
about Armin?
No, I don't know who that is. But, what is that, spoiler?
Actually, it is.
He's that dude?
No.
Or is it a girl?
Eventually,
My
yeah,
fault.
yeah.
My fault.
Eventually, yeah.
He's more like the.
They?
Think about him like Shikamaru.
type.
Got you.
Type.
Yeah, he is Shikamaru,
Yeah.
but he's also like.
He ends up dying too?
We are not talking about this.
He's
show.
like Shikamaru
You
and
asking
Usopp.
questions? Then you go watch the show. Like,
He's like Shikamaru and Usopp.
He's
He's,
like-
smart as hell, but he's a coward.
Shikamaru who gets reanimated jutsu on him. That's permanent for 13 years.
Got you.
So it's not permanent, but
Yeah.
it's permanent for his
Yeah.
There's a lease on it.
It's like a Tsukiyomi? Got to recharge?
You'll figure it out if you
Not a
want to.
Tsukiyomi.
No, no,
Right? What's that?
yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
pronounce
it's
that
cool.
shit, bro.
But yeah, so, you know,
I think you're.
it's also
completely entitled.
it's also the fact that a lot of people are telling me to do something. It makes me not want to do it.
Yeah. You honestly don't watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
don't.
it's psychology, it's
Super
reverse
glad-
psychology.
Super glad you're listening to me. Don't
Yeah.
watch it.
You feel me?
You are.
I just
It's
like
like
to
it's
recommend.
like it's like the same thing when we were at Chipotle and like, bro, they're trying to beat down Frank Ocean and Brock Hampton every morning to me, and it's just like, yo, you guys are making me not want to listen to this more and more.
That
So
makes sense. That makes sense. I
That
get
does
that.
make sense.
I get that.
I understand it.
Yeah. 'cause I
it's the
get
same reason why you won't listen to Dave East.
It's not that I won't. I just don't.
Why not? Because I be gassing it.
I've listened to Karma too.
I've also heard Brock Hampton's albums.
Okay. And
And you said Karma too, like that was his best shit.
I mean, like, that's the thing. I've listened to some of his music. I don't listen to him though. That's the thing. You feel me? And I wouldn't know if it's his best shit because I haven't listened to all of his shit.
No.
You feel me? But you wouldn't know if Attack on Titan is something you liked based off of the clips that you've seen, which is Karma 2 to you. Because it's not his, but those clips aren't the
Great
best.
drop.
shit.
Great
You feel
drop.
me?
I
You
would
like that.
say,
You
I
like
would
that.
say, Attack on Titan has some of the best motivational speeches because, like, I'd be like, yo, if I was in that
Bro,
situation,
there was one scene where I was like, I'm about to cry.
yeah.
Chill.
Sure.
If you know, you know. But I think if you ever were like when that time comes, because you said you might give it a shot when the season, like when the show is completely over. But that's if you
I
decide
feel
to.
like that's like Game of Thrones for me because everyone told me I'd be into Game of Thrones.
They said the same thing. I watched the first 3 episodes and I was like, no.
No, I know I'd be into Game of Thrones. I know it, so I refuse
Yeah.
to watch it. But now that it's over, no one talks about it. Now I'm gonna go watch it.
Where
I just like,
I do give shit chances though. Like you told me about
Yeah.
Working Moms. He's like, yo, bro, Working Moms is mad fun. I'm like, word. Boom. Go to Shorty's crib, watching. Yo, this shit is not funny. Yo, I had to
Like,
text
I'm
him the
sorry.
next morning, like, yo, dog, I dead gave this shit a shot,
lied
and
to
like,
me.
it wasn't funny. He was like, damn, my bad.
But like with Working Moms, I never said like, yo, you gotta watch. I just said, nah, I like that show. That show's fire. He decided to watch it,
Go
which
on
I
to
was
the
like,
adventure.
when he told me, I was like, oh, he watched it, and then he hits me with the, yeah, it wasn't funny. I was like,
right.
Okay.
And honestly, I think it's important. There's
different sense of humors, I guess.
I think you
You're also a dad.
you should also
that plays a huge part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember when you said that. I was like, that makes sense. I
Yeah.
think so. But I think it plays a part, or it's a large part to understand that like one, it's important to have your own thoughts before hearing other people's thoughts, and if you're if you let those other thoughts like dictate whether or not you like it or not, then that's up to you. But it shouldn't be, oh, they made me, or like, hearing all of this talk made me watch this. It's more of like, you're getting your own opinion on it. Like, honestly, for you saying you don't like Attack on Titan for what you said, like for the reasons that you don't want to watch it.
I never said I didn't like
no,
it.
you said you didn't like the animation style. You didn't.
Well,
like
yeah, that's that, but that doesn't
Yeah.
mean
Right.
I just haven't decided to give it a full shot.
Right. And for you to state your
I haven't
dislikes,
decided to subscribe to it yet. Go
right?
ahead.
For you to state your dislikes, you have aside from that, not undermining that, but aside from that, you haven't given it you haven't gathered your own opinion on the anime for what it is, for you to determine whether or not it's something you would subscribe to or not. Because you could watch it and be like, yeah, it's ass. Boom, didn't subscribe.
But I never said it was ass.
I'm saying you could, because you don't have to subscribe to it after you watch it. But after you watch it, you could subscribe, and that it all determines your perception or your perspective. Where it's like, Oh yeah, I only subscribe. I feel like
I understand what you
I feel
mean.
like I subscribe because I
I
let other people tell me to watch it.
I do understand what you mean because it's the same thing with Tokyo Revengers, right? Where he's
That
like,
I
"Yo,
still haven't watched.
it's the yo, Angel's gassing it up. Yo, bro, this anime is going crazy.
Are you gonna tell
I'm
him?
watching the first. I get to the first. What is it? 10 episodes or 11?
You watched he watched 7 episodes.
I watched the first 7 episodes. I'm like, yo, dog, I'm about to give this up. He's like, yo, dog, but you're right there. Like, literally,
bro.
you are right there. Like, it's about to go down. All right, bro, you got it.
That's like
Hit
Naruto
play.
waiting for the war.
Hits play.
That's because the war happened when people were watching it. Because they know that there's better, and that's also like One Piece, bro. You know One Piece gets better.
Oops.
It's hard
But
to like.
the-
Oops.
the
It's
thing-
hard, yo. Like,
Oops.
that's funny.
Oops.
You're funny as hell. Go
I
ahead, continue.
like it.
So I get to So I get to episode 8.
Yo.
I get to episode 8, and then it goes down, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Bloody October, bro.
Angel, and he's like, I know.
I know. I was
I'm like-
waiting for that call.
I'm like, bro.
because I told him I was like, bro, you're
I
gonna
was
call
like,
me.
bro, this is the one.
That's crazy.
This is the one.
It's like, so this is what happened basically.
All right, I'm done. You can go now.
So basically, let's say you're starting One Piece, right?
Right.
You watch One Piece, and then you're literally 2 episodes away from Arlong Park, right?
And if you don't like it by then, I don't know what's wrong with you, but go ahead.
Right. And like
true.
that's what he was doing with
Tokyo
Tokyo
Revengers.
Revengers. He was literally 2 episodes away from Bloody October, which is literally where like
It gets
one
spicy.
that's like the climax of the whole shit where everything just starts going downhill for the
snap.
show. Like and like that is going bad, but like shit just starts to
Plot
pop
starts
off.
setting.
Yeah, like
Plot.
crazy. And like
Or actually, it's going up. It's go. Like,
yeah.
It's like yeah.
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
he was literally about to like stop it right before he got to that
Yeah.
point where it like that was a point where now you can decide whether you're gonna keep going or not because now this
I
is
feel
where
like that
shit.
happens to a lot of animes because
Yeah.
you have to set the tone of like the characters. Get so you're like, okay, this guy's like this guy's
Yeah.
like that.
You have to set up the world. You have to understand how the world works.
Because it's like all these, they're not all in one universe. They're their own little ones. So it's like, all right, figure it out first. And I think that's one of the reasons why you have to like, because even Attack on Titan, the first season's really not it.
Yo, and that's what I'm saying.
And
Like
so,
the
like-
first season is very slow.
It's so slow. 'Cause
Super
it's just
slow.
setting up the plot so
Yeah.
much. But then once you're in like season 3, you're like, what the?
That is what. That's
You see how
literally what
that's
I
not
said.
okay, though?
No. But see, it's like I understand
Season
how
2 is not that bad either.
it's
Season
it's
2
good. It's good,
season
but
2
all of it is information. It's
Yeah.
information
Season
building up
2
for everything
is-
that's
Okay,
happening.
but that's just it. It ends up being worth it.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because
Instead of, no, this is
This is what it is.
this is a good anime
Okay, word.
Season 2.
because you're already invested.
Yeah,
Right.
Season 2 is where it like starts to October, like the
Yeah.
early October. That's what season 2
The ball
is.
definitely starts rolling.
I feel like season 3.
Is like
Crazy.
Bro, what I loved about season 3 was
fucking love
literally like because I feel like season 2 went by pretty fast. And I feel like what was going on in season 2 was more of a like a war and like survival. Like the first 2 seasons were just like war and survival. Season 3 started to like explain like
roots.
why everything is going on.
It started
in
unfolding.
little details.
It really
And,
started
like,
unfolding
Yeah,
in
that's
season
when
3.
you start like season 3. You start understanding why everything in season 1 and 2 happened the way it did.
Yep.
And then you get to season 4 and it's just like
It's just crazy
It gets
from there.
worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, but like you know, having that idea where it's like, okay, I'm starting out. Dang, I gotta wait. You know, you're telling me I gotta watch Naruto before I watch Naruto Shippuden, knowing there's a whole war, knowing the information that I know.
Knowing all the
But it just
like,
makes it
no,
better.
Does it?
It does.
I definitely think watching it when it was like it at the time is
No,
a better
I'm saying.
experience.
Oh, I thought you meant like if you were to just jump straight into Shippuden and not watch and skip Naruto completely. I thought that's what you meant. So I'm sorry.
Oh, watching Naruto Shippuden without watching Naruto makes it better? Is that
No.
what you're saying? Oh, okay,
No.
got you. All right, that's what
Yeah,
that was
I think
miscommunication.
you
I hear
need
you now.
Naruto
You
to
need
watch
Naruto to
Naruto.
understand it. Nah, for sure.
It just keeps happening.
It does, honestly.
It just doesn't stop.
It may be fixed, it may not be fixed.
I wonder
It
if
would never
anyone
be
noticed
fixed.
that Angel's hair is not black anymore.
I did.
It's red.
I mean, I hope we would. We've noticed last week.
Yeah,
Well,
facts.
I noticed last week.
It looks good on you, bro.
Thank you. I
Yo, do you
appreciate
think they noticed that we come here and put the same outfit on from last week to this week?
Oh, you guys didn't.
I mean, yeah, we did. Yeah,
They're gonna start going back to every
yeah.
video. Like,
I didn't like.
Oh
I
no,
don't
yeah,
think
I
that they
didn't
do-
catch the joke. It's okay, forget it. It's okay. But
Okay,
go off.
That's fine.
Go
That's
off.
fine. I was gonna say. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay.
I was
I'm
gonna
just
say.
being Andy right now.
Yeah, you are. And yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Oh, it's annoying.
No, I said that's kind of how it goes.
You almost said it.
What?
You heard it.
I
Right?
said, and it's kind of how it goes.
you know.
No, you think that's him calling Cap again? That's him calling Cap again. This is Mr. Cap a lot. Actually, nah, that was not what I meant to
Are
say.
you counting how many times he capped or something?
No, not that how many
looked up
times he
like you're
caps. He
counting.
just calls Cap.
lot.
In the matter of 24 hours, he called Cap at least 6 times.
I call bullshit
I call
See, but like, why though?
because I used to not call bullshit before,
And then what?
and then I lost all my friends.
Well, okay, word. I mean, like, was that before you met us?
No, y'all still my friends,
Okay, word.
but I lost a lot of friends
Okay, word. That's fair.
just by calling out bullshit.
Yeah,
You're
'cause,
lying to me.
You need to. Yeah,
You did not fuck her.
That's important. Nah, that's crazy.
I asked.
This nigga's crazy.
Yo,
Nah,
that's
that's
real
important.
though.
That is.
I thought that same scenario
That's
happened.
crazy. That's important though. You know, always.
Why'd you lie
be
like
upfront.
that?
Be in front. Be in front.
Why would you lie
Honestly.
like that?
Yeah, nah. There's no reason to lie. Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah,
But yeah, where we
okay.
at with it?
man, we got round 2 of muffins, bro. Let's just go, man.
All right, slide.
Let's go. I promise that next week
Yeah.
or whenever
We'll be
we
back.
pod
Our
again.
anime heads,
I'll definitely-
enjoy today's.
Yeah, for sure. I hope the
Let us
anime
know what
heads-
y'all think about. You know,
The
We haven't done it.
anime-
We haven't at all.
we haven't done.
We're still
anime
good, we're
talk
good,
yet.
we're
A couple pods ago, I believe.
We probably
touched the
mentioned it.
subject, but we never
Yeah,
Yeah, we never dove into.
All
it.
right, y'all. I'm cutting it. So like, subscribe. Love y'all. Appreciate every single
Love
one of y'all.
y'all.
Be easy. And what? Yo, I said something. Oh, and thank God for the work. That's how we ended it. Let's go.